This is Lemon's Car Spotting. You post to Instagram with the hashtag Lemon's Car Spotting. We pick the hooptiest.
They are so incredibly terrible.
And which one we want to become a real Lemon's build.
It does car-like things. I've been pushing for one of those in Lemons too, and those are very affordable.
Yeah. Hey, welcome to Lemon's Car Spotting. I'm Eric. That's Nick. I remember these things. And before we get into it this week, we have a couple of callbacks from previous episodes from a couple of our regular spotters that we wanted to go over real quick. Backroads of Eastern Washington had previously spotted this Brown Eagle Premier. Fine machine. And when he drove by it recently, the Peugeot 505 was also in the parking lot. So clearly a person of high caliber and preference for French designed automobiles, as the Eagle is a Renault 25.
Right.
So,
yeah. No, a real Francophile here in Eastern Washington.
There's the word. I couldn't find the word.
All right. And then
Wasted Wits had seen this spy versus spy caravan with the nose knocked off of it and a broken wheel and a whole bunch of other stuff wrong with it. He saw it again at a body shop, and it had been restored to its complete majesty. And
I mean, if you're going to dump a bunch of money into a vehicle, I don't see why it wouldn't be a spy versus spy caravan.
Yeah, I mean, the wheel game is so good on it anyway, not to mention the side skirts, and then, the spy versus spy bit is just the cherry on top.
Yeah. Well,
thank you guys for updating your posts. That's hella sweet.
Yep.
And, glad to get some story out of these.
Yeah. Now we can follow the full saga of the spy versus spy caravan. So yes. If there are updates, definitely keep posting them. All right, let's get into the new vehicles for this week. I'm going to be picking for Eric. Here's the Lemons build and the hooptiest. Tell me when to stop.
And stop.
That's the Lemons build. I'll do the hooptiest and let us commence.
Yeah. Somebody. Yeah.
I see what's happened here. They had a car in their yard and they were like, man, I wish there was a deck where that stupid car is. And this was the solution. Yeah, not a bad solution, I gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna rust and weather any slower than crappy wood would, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this is a Mark II Sprite/midget. Tell us in the comments what you think this is.
Yeah, I have no idea. I can't even tell what I'm looking at hardly. I see door sills and a wheel well, and that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's got the wheel well and then the opening for the door. But the key to me is this weird cutout where the hood would be. And then Sprite midgets have a big old clamshell thing.
Yeah.
So that's my theory.
Interesting. Oh man, that smacks of Jim's had this project car sitting in the backyard, and I'm sick of looking at it. So I'm just going to build directly over it while he's on vacation.
Yeah. Yeah, his spouse just makes the executive decision, and then he comes back. Oh, where the hell's my project car? Like, don't worry, I didn't move it.
But excellent.
Excellent. All right, moving on. I mean, this is the area of cars that we don't know, but this has got to be a Nash.
Yeah.
Because Nash had that weird inset front end styling treatment, which it doesn't really work, to be honest, but it's so evocative of the time that it does work. So,
yeah, I assume that was born out of some kind of simplifying the manufacturing process,
right?
Which is very Nash.
Yeah, right.
Always known for being an affordable-ish car and a very practical kind of brand,
Yeah.
I guess, as evidenced by the fact that they literally made appliances. So,
Yeah. They made the Nash Kelvinator, or Kelvinator was separate, and then they combined at some point, something like that. Anyway, funny story about that. My dad is named Tyler, and his parents owned grocery stores, and there's a commercial refrigerator brand named Tyler. Years later, he had a coworker named Kelvin, and Kelvin's parents also owned grocery stores, and there is a commercial refrigerator brand named Kelvinator. So, just saying.
there you go.
Very possible they were both named after commercial appliances. Now, in the comments, or the caption rather, from this, it is making a Rod Serling reference. Is this what Rod Serling drove on the original Twilight Zone? Or?
Maybe was the spokesperson for?
Oh, interesting. Like he was the Ricardo Montalban of Nash.
Of Nash. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh,
so Nash became AMC eventually. They were Rambler after this, and then that all folded into AMC. The whole story of AMC.
Which then became, in a way, Stellantis, did it not?
Yes, this is a Stellantis product. Thank you for pointing that out, Nick. Yeah, this would have had a Flathead 6 probably sometime around here. We mentioned this in a previous Lemon's car spotting episode. Sometime around this, Rambler came out with a pushrod straight 6 that would eventually become the Jeep 4-liter,
right?
Some 40 years later. So
yeah. Well, and there's a direct path from the Flathead 6 to that motor, which has been, made until 2009 or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Excellent.
Cool cars, though.
Yeah. Very cool. We have ourselves a collector of Subaru Bajas. Amazing.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. I guess.
All right. Good for you, sir. I mean, sure. It's a cult classic. Now, could you get the Baja with the 2.5 turbo and or a 5-speed?
I feel like there was a Baja XT or something like that. I don't know what that actually entails, but I'll just assume it was basically WRX.
I mean, the problem with being a Baja, with being any kind of weird car hoarder, is now you're just obligated to get everyone that pops up for sale. Right. I wonder if he has all the colors yet. He's got, appears to be 3. There's 2 of the sort of silver ones. Oh, no. And maybe 2 black ones and a yellow one. So maybe he only has, I don't know. I don't know if there were other options.
I had a friend who had one of these. His first car was a Brat, and he absolutely adored it.
Yeah.
It owned a Legacy, and then decided he wanted to go back to his Brat roots. Bought a Baja, and it turned him off of Subaru forever after that. But yeah,
I mean, everybody who bought a Brat should have bought one of these, and maybe they did. Because it's not a huge number we're talking about here. Right. I have a friend who at the time had a t-shirt business, and he sort of needed a vehicle to take boxes of t-shirts and pop-up tents and whatnot to festivals. And but he also needed sort of a family car. And I was like, dude, how about a Baja? And this is my friend. He's like, not really a car guy. And he's like, kind of uggo, is it not? And I'm kind of like, fair.
It's valid.
Fair point.
Valid. Yep. Not an attractive callback to the Baja or the Brat. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everything about it's just awkward and wrong.
Well, and they had a couple of weird things. Like you could get a weird, purpose-built camper shell for this. I think it has a pass-through into the cabin.
Yeah, there's a pass-through, and then there's like a tailgate extension, like hoop thing. I don't know what you call it. Cargo cage. So you could haul, 6-foot stuff. I mean, it was practical and probably, a better designed version of the Avalanche, basically, at least more efficient. But good Lord, was it ugly?
Yeah, it was quite ugly. Although arguably maybe not as ugly as the Avalanche.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So
there's less plastic on it somehow. So
everybody on the internet says, why don't we have car trucks? And Subaru Baja might be the answer.
Yeah.
All right, moving onward. Wow. Now, have we seen this before? This sort of rings a bell, the Corvette C3 limo.
I feel like it's a thing. I mean, there's not that many of them, but it's the kind of thing that we would put into the show if we saw one.
I mean, I guess it's also a thing in terms of like, I'm picturing like, I mean, if you were Whitesnake and you were making a music video.
Oh, yeah.
You'd put this in there. So there was a demand for a period for a vehicle like this. Or if you were Whitesnake and you were arriving to play a show, you know? You could make one of these for Lemons, I would say. I mean, we don't have a length limit within reason.
Yeah. There was at Concours de Lemons Detroit, it's probably been 4 or 5 years ago. I think it's 2018 or 19. Somebody had a C4 one of these that they had built themselves.
That's right.
And he had like a whole album of like how he had built it himself and done all of the work on it. It's kind of amazing. I mean, it was still a little rough around the edges as I imagine this is, but you know, the dude wanted a Corvette he could take his kids around in. So, you know,
problem solved.
Yeah, obviously. I just want to watch somebody try to do burnouts in this thing with the 19-foot long drive shaft just snapping.
The U joints would be going off like chain firecrackers, like bap, 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 bap. Yeah. All right. Pretty cool. Oh, another collector.
Yeah.
This time of early Fox Mustangs. And I guess that's still a Fox Mustang. I thought it might have been a Firebird on the end, but no.
I think it's an ASC.
Indeed.
It's the McLaren Mustang.
And, you know, McLaren is one of those cars like, hey, what do you drive? I drive a McLaren. Like, no kidding. Okay.
Yeah. And then you see, okay. Right.
Yeah. And you're like, that's a McLaren? Like, it is.
Yeah,
it is a McLaren.
Those Fox Mustangs are all pace cars. Also,
that's
like
right.
79 or 80 or whatever year it was. The pace car edition.
God, and they're all in immaculate condition. Were these the ones that had the weird metric wheels on them? In fact, does the car second from the right? Are those the metric wheels? I feel like you could get TRXs on some of these early Mustangs.
Probably. I don't know. It was a 4x108, right?
Sure.
I don't know. This is beyond my level of fine grain knowledge about Fox body Mustangs. Yeah. I do know that these are clearly all $10,000 to $20,000 cars.
Oh, absolutely.
Obviously.
Yeah. You go to Mecum, man, you'll see that.
They'll just be shoveling money at you for them.
Totally.
Obviously.
Let alone the McLaren. Good Lord.
I mean, that one probably is legitimately worth like, $4,000. The other ones, I mean, are put a cage in it and, run it with a 4-cylinder Pinto motor.
Totally.
Voila.
Done and done. Okay. Oh, speaking of limos, speaking of RVs, speaking of van life, I mean, what did it start life as? It is a Taurus?
It looks like a second gen Taurus or the slight redesigned one.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's so much other things happening there.
Oh, it's great. It's got stacked taillights from like a Chevy truck, maybe.
Oh, I see what they did now. All right, I'm piecing it together. All right, so they took a Super Duty bed.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 2 of them.
Yeah,
and seam welded them together.
Yeah,
back to back. It looks like. Hence the wheel wells, but they're different sized wheel wells, so they're from different. when I said I understand what they're doing,
I think you were at least part of the way there. You were further than I got.
It's a truck bed basically with pieces of van stitched together.
Yeah.
This is like a Leatherface the car.
Yeah. Oh man, the Taurus Chainsaw Massacre. Oh boy.
Whatever the rear door is on the bodywork, I can't place.
Yeah, it's a weird stubby door from something else. Yeah, I don't know.
Man,
it's great.
This is amazing.
Somebody's beating the system.
Yeah, this is Jesus. What is the gross weight of this thing? Must be like 14,000.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, especially if, like you said, they used Super Duty truck beds. I mean, there's a lot of steel happening behind the passenger compartment. So, it's not going to be great performance-wise.
Yeah. Boy, it's coming from Lemon Spotter, I fix pets. Also, it's this is gold right here.
Yep, that's excellent, an excellent find. Although I will wager to say you didn't have to look very hard.
Yeah, it kind of stands out in a parking garage.
It sure does.
Which, by the way, this thing navigating a parking garage must be a sight.
Oh yeah, I mean they got turns and stuff and ramps. Yeah, totally. Dude. All right. Next up. Ooh, it's a Galaxy Wagon.
Yeah. Country Squire.
Yeah. I guess it wasn't actually called a Galaxy. It was just the Country Squire, but it's effectively a Galaxy. Is that right?
Yeah. It's got the taillights and the headlights and the grill of.
Yeah.
So it's all the same things.
Yeah, these are cool. The big giant American wagon, I think, is better served by the 50s / early 60s rounded styling. As they got more square, it just became that much more obvious that they were huge and ridiculous. So this is cool. It's probably I don't know my early 60s Fords too well. It might have had an FE big block.
Probably because they used to put. At this time, station wagons almost all had V8s in them.
Yeah, so like a 352 big block.
Sounds right. And tow package probably was an option on all of these.
Yeah,
you were supposed to tow your camper instead of taking your Taurus and mating it to a Super Duty bed.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. Oh man, well, that's pretty cool. This is from CNBNO. I don't remember having any posts from this user, so thank you and welcome.
Yeah. Quick note on this. It's been 10 years now, 11 years. But Speedy Cop found a 63 Impala wagon in a yard.
Yep.
Outside of Gingerman on the way to the track, and I think he bought a Maserati bi-turbo to build at the track, and he saw the Impala and said, well, I should just build that instead. And he rented it from the guy, put the cage on it, and then stitched it back together
and gave it back to the guy. I think that's right. And the guy came to the track to help and check out the race. So the dude, whose field Speedy Cop brought it from. Now, we've mentioned this before. Obviously, people have different welding abilities or access to welders, but it's not unusual for us, 2 months before a race for a team, we're not going to make it. We can't make the cage. It's Speedy Cop did it on the way to the race. So, this is not an insurmountable problem.
Right.
So there you go.
Fine.
We should do that with this. All right. Next up, we are in, oh, dude.
There's a lot happening there.
All
right, let's start from the right.
Okay,
where it's simpler.
Where it's not crazy. FJ62 Land Cruiser.
Looks like a Super Beetle, maybe.
Yeah,
later Beetle.
Yeah,
International pickup?
It's either an international or just a Dodge.
Dodge, yeah. It might be it's like a swept line
Right.
4-wheel drive.
Yep.
All pretty normal. And then there's a Pinsgauer?
Yeah.
Or a Unimog or something like that.
No, it's a cab over. I mean, Pinsgauer is my first guess. There's a couple of, there's a Volvo that looks like a Pinsgauer.
Yeah,
so it could be that. Well, neat.
Yeah.
What makes more sense, having 5 Subaru Bajas or having these vehicles?
That is a great point.
This, Subaru Baja, they all do the same thing. Obviously, they're the same car. This, it's like, well, you've got your hauling vehicle with your Dodge pickup. You've got your off-road vehicle with the Pinsgauer or the Volvo, whatever it is. You have the sort of suburban commuter, but with some off-road capabilities in the Land Cruiser. And then for formal events, you've got the Super Beetle.
Yeah, totally. This guy's got it figured out.
This also looks like the vehicle cast for a movie based on a Tom Clancy novel that takes place in Colombia.
Yeah. This is the setup for a Breaking Bad set.
Right, exactly.
Better Call Saul set in Mexico.
Yeah, exactly.
6 of 1.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, same idea. All right, next up, we've got a Rover SD1. Surprisingly, a car that we have seen race in Lemons.
Had a couple
at least once. Yeah, I was going to say, have we had more than one? Well, so the famous one and the one that has raced the most and the longest is the Rolex, which of course has a Lexus 4-liter V8 swapped in, which I think is a large reason why it's had the longevity that it's had.
Correct.
But yeah, the Rolex is a fine race car.
Yeah. Rich Chesavage had an SD1, and then there was another one in the Pacific Northwest with a blower on it.
That's right.
It raced once or maybe twice.
Yeah.
But they had the Buick Supercharger on the Buick 215.
Yeah.
Keep it in the family. So
man, if that car's out there, bring that thing back. That thing was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know much about these. I know that Jay's dad had one. And then
is that a 0.4 or
I don't know. I can't speak as someone who also has a parent who owned a Rover.
Right.
They're big hatchbacks, are they not? It's like a giant. This is really like the precursor to the Tesla Model S.
Yeah. Same idea. Same exact idea. Yeah, I think it was a big hatchback. This is, by the way, spotted in the middle of a Lemons rally in Colorado. So,
is this a participant on the rally or no?
The car, the Rover, is not.
Right.
So they spotted something more hoopty than what they were in, which was a crappy
amazing
Ford Contour. So, kind of great.
These were also used as cop cars in the UK.
Right.
So if there are any UK policemen, if there are any bobbies in the comments, tell us what it was like to drive the police interceptor version of the Rover 3500 or SD1 or whatever they called it.
Yeah. Had the jam sandwich livery with the purple stripe.
That's right.
Or whatever it was.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
I have the color right, but whatever. It doesn't matter.
Last car for the week.
Oh, ooh.
We've got another three-wheeler on our hands.
I think homemade campers are the and limos are the order of this week's episode.
It's got the possibly / likely culturally insensitive mural on the side. This is from the History One Moralists. Interesting username. Says it's a Piaggio Ape. Is it? It looks big for that, but maybe it is. Maybe a late version.
Well, I think you're struggling because there's no objects for you to measure size against. I think this thing is so much tinier than you think it is. Just
right. Yeah. You're probably right.
Piaggio Ape is if you've never seen one, the cabin is a person and a half could fit in it.
Yeah.
So this is a single camper for somebody, I guess,
Right.
made out of an Ape truck. Super weird. I don't think they ever sold Piaggios here in any real numbers.
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, you do see them around. I mean, that's like in the Bay Area. That's like if you've got the cool coffee truck startup that is just, reducing the amount of your trust fund. Obviously, you're going to have a Piaggio Ape as the vehicle because it's so cute. But
this is the utilitarian affectation of using your trust fund money to buy a Vespa.
Right,
so,
exactly. There was something else in the caption here. It says the shell covering, I can't see it because of the logo, made from Yugo, Florida poly pickup bed caps. What does that mean? That's a brand? Yugo, Florida poly?
I'm not touching that with
I have no idea. Yeah. Well, anyway, this is kind of a unique machine. Like the
it'd be a great car to drive to a Lemons race.
And
camp in, and then your teammates don't have to smell you, and vice versa. So
now I've driven a Lambro, which is the Lambretta version of the Piaggio Ape. They had a truck and a little van, and the old ones are just a Lambretta scooter on the inside. Like the controls are the same, manual 4-speed on the left grip. And it is the scariest damn thing. Cause you've got 6 horsepower. The motor is sort of running and you have to slip the hell out of the clutch because you've got so much extra weight to deal with.
Right.
And unlike a scooter, nice thing about Lambretta scooters is when you crap out, which is often, you just shoop, all right, I'm out of the lane of traffic and I can figure out what's going on. In one of these, you're out there, man. There's nothing you can do. So
yeah. We had one for a Judge-mobile at a race in Chicago, and there's video of Phil driving around it. He loved this thing. We couldn't get him out of it. It was like every 5 minutes, okay, I'm going to go get some photos with Ape. Driving around.
I can't say I blame him. When we get the best Judge-mobiles are weird / small. Occasionally we'll get a monster truck and it's just it's difficult to drive around, et cetera, et cetera. But if you get a weird scooter or mini bike, that's the gold standard of Judge-mobile.
Yeah.
All right. That does it for this week. I've got the hooptiest. Oh, dude. I've got to go with the Taurus Chainsaw Massacre. Because, look at it. It's amazing.
Yeah. The scope of what is it? All the there's some phrase for this that's great execution, bad idea.
Basically. Oh yeah. We need another German term for that.
Yeah. I don't know that the execution is necessarily great on this.
The execution is not good, but it's better than the idea.
You're right, and it's still together. It hasn't fallen apart.
Yeah,
it clearly was done some time ago.
Yeah,
So, there's some. The execution is better than it looks like it is.
Right.
Doesn't.
Yeah. You have to remember. this is the year 2022. This was made clearly before that. There's no way it wasn't. And it's running. So somebody did something right.
Yeah, man. Well, that gives me the Lemons build. As much as I would love to, again, make this the car we'd love to see in Lemons, and by all means, build a smaller scale version of this. I think it's going to be a little over the gross weight limit by 4,000 or 5,000 pounds.
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna build this out of a Miata. Build the 2-door coupe camper out of a Miata
or a Festiva.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't want to deal with things like drive shafts.
Yeah, totally.
totally solve that problem.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with a vehicle we've not seen in Lemons that's kind of tailor-made for it, and being an awkward, strange to look at thing, the Subaru Baja is kind of just made for Lemons.
Now, we've said before, there's a lot to be said for a Lemons car that can carry its own tires in it. I mean, that's just a nice feature to have for storage. And boy, Subaru Baja is that to a T.
That's right. Yeah. And it has the pass through to the passenger compartment. So you could store, many things in it, like toolboxes and stuff. So on your transit to and from the track. So great setup for a Lemons car. People, I posted this on Lemons social media some time ago, we'd love to see a Baja, and got a lot of, these are all still $4,000 cars. And, that simply cannot be true.
We're handing out loopholes like bread to seagulls at the beach, but it's a loophole. If you buy a Subaru Baja and it's $4,000, that's fine. We're gonna bring it to a Lemons race. We're not going to go that hard on you.
Yeah, agreed. This guy probably could spare one, so maybe drop by and offer him $500. Although this is the kind of person who also thinks they're all worth $4,000. So I don't know what to tell you. Just bring a Baja.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear. Actually, the key to the cheap Baja, make your own out of an Outback. That's very doable and solves the budget issue. All right. Well, you've got a week till next Thursday, till our next show to build that and bring and show it to us as a completed Lemons build. But if you're not doing that, tag your photos with Lemons Car Spotting on Instagram, and maybe they will show up here. Man, talking about brats, I was reading a story about some dude who lived as a mountain man, off grid, somewhere in the Northeast. And how he got there was he took a Subaru Brat that his brother had financed. And I don't know, the guy had some issue and decided to drive it out in the woods and then just keep going. And then he lived in the woods and nobody knew that there were rumors that he was alive, but nobody actually knew for like 20 years. So they finally caught him.